Roisin here. This is my regular Venus Friday wisdom warbling on about what feels significant. So I have been reinvigorating my Facebook group, my private Facebook group for women, embodied leadership for heart-centered women, and I'm loving it. And I'm having to battle my own insecurities, my own perfectionism, my own frustrations, and I'm showing up. And so I felt like this week speaking into perfectionism and choosing to still show up, which I believe is a kind of I like to work with the feminine archetypes, and really it's queen energy. It's also the energy of the mother in seeing things through in nurturance. So perfectionism can really halt us from doing what we feel called to do and from sharing our creativity or our craft, however that may be. It might even be showing up to an event or a class that we feel called to because we don't feel like we're there yet. When I used to teach more regularly yoga classes, people would say to me, but I'm not flexible enough. And it's like, we go to yoga classes to become more flexible. And this flexing of our capacity to grow is the necessary meeting of perfectionism. To share a little bit more vulnerably and authentically, which is how I like to show up. As a sister, as a facilitator. I don't really like the word teacher. I like to facilitate people's own understandings, perhaps through sharing my own. Our last full moon dance was beautiful, and I struggled with the tech, and the sound wasn't as good as I'd have liked it to be, and I was really frustrated with myself and disappointed with myself, and had to really find compassion and grit to think, I'm building, I'm learning, I'm growing. And I've had some beautiful conversations with the sisters that did join, and actually those who didn't, and those who did join are supportive, of course, and actually the magic dropped through, and there's always room for improvement. And so this is really part of why I love women coming together, because it is a collaborative effort. We support each other, and that's what I really hope that I can offer in this group, in this growing community, is this support of each other, and this dropping the perfectionism, and just showing up as we are, because I've also had messages from other sisters who are struggling and don't feel able to show up as they are, and I have compassion and love for those parts also, and encouragement to say that all of you is welcome. And really that's one of my kind of monikers for the work that I offer you, that I offer to myself, to everybody. All of you is welcome, and it's so important. I've been reading or listening to, actually, which I love, Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic, which is all about creativity. Elizabeth Gilbert, Liz Gilbert, you might know, wrote Eat, Pray, Love. And this Big Magic book is about harnessing creativity. It's more of a self-help book, perhaps, or a writing book, support book. And one of the first chapters, she talks about this pairing, or the polarity, if you like, of creativity and fear. and how creativity just wants to move. Creativity, ideas, inspiration are just there waiting for us to court them almost. And yet fear often blocks us. We don't think we're good enough, that perfectionism. We don't think we're ready. We don't think we can do it. We're not flexible enough to go to a yoga class, or we're not confident enough to do something, or it's not perfect, so I shouldn't show up. All these kind of limitations, and actually just starting is key. And she shared a story in that which I felt to relay about ideas, and how ideas are actually just there. And it takes that dedication and that deep listening in choosing to respond. So she says that she had this idea for a novel come through, and she sat with it for about 2 years, maybe played with it a little bit, but didn't do anything with it. She let it go. She didn't really give it any time, the time needed for it to grow, to nurture. I spoke about that mother archetype in nurturing. And she has this writer friend, and they would write letters to each other and sharing what they were up to. And eventually she heard about this novel that her friend was doing, and actually it turned out to be not the same, but the same idea. So a different novel coming through a different person, but the idea or the story was the same. And she said that's big magic. That's when you realize, like, ideas are there. They want you to court them. Like inspiration, or what the bards would talk about is Awen inspiration. Life, ideas, creativity wants you to court it, wants you to dance with it. And I just love this idea, of creativity for creativity's sake. Any person who is in a sort of self-employed, holistic role will know it's like we're just figuring it out often as we go along. Even the people who are teaching other people are just sharing what they've learned along the way. And any role you're in, actually, we're all kind of finding our way. Mothers, so often it's like there's this saying, isn't there, that there's no rule book. We're trying our best, and this again is the sort of queen energy, if you like, of showing up and dedicating time. I've been going through quite a tough time recently. I know others have too, and it's that embodied listening. Like, when do I need to collapse and let all the emotions flow, and also choosing to show up for what I am passionate about, to show up for what I believe in, for what I take a stand for. My work being that for me, and my friends, my family, as much as is possible, and communicating when it's not. So there's this deep listening, this choosing to show up, and also this letting go of perfectionism, this letting go, having compassion, and continuing. Trusting that life is happening as it should, and we are always being guided and taught by life. So I hope this encourages you to let go of perfectionism, and just create for creativity's sake, to show up for what is calling for you, trusting that life is happening for you, that those little whispers of the soul, those callings to be somehow, to do somehow, are there for a reason. Sometimes it's the mind's distraction, and that takes discernment, but don't let perfectionism put you off. We keep on, we keep up, and together in sisterhood, hopefully we can support each other to feel good about what we do, and to have compassion, and grow together. I look forward to seeing some of you on the next new moon complimentary mantra tantra session. I'm going to put all the dates in the group soon. With love.